And we are live. Thanks everyone for joining us on the second episode of the Dojo Kun Shill Shack. Today we've got quite a bit to go over. We've got two guests, a guest co-host. In fact, let's go ahead and bring in our guest co-host. And today that will be Joe Catapano. How are you doing, Joe?
Hey, pretty good, Dojo Kun. How you doing, everybody out there?
Uh,
We're Eastern time, so it's a little it's the evening over here. So
it's a little late, yes. So usually you're on your show tonight, Art Bros, but tonight you
Mhm.
had something else going on. Why don't you tell us a bit about that and how it's going?
Yeah, I have fulfillment going on right now for Star Circuit. I'm sure we'll talk about that later, but as everybody knows about fulfillment, it's a battle, and so if you don't hit the daily goals, then they can back up, and I wanted to get a lot of the fulfillment done by Christmas, so I bailed on Art Bros tonight.
Well, in a bit of fortuitous timing, something came in the mail to me today.
Oh snap! Look at that.
Today. Yep.
Perfect.
I was like, awesome. Yeah, I haven't taken it out of the bag yet though, so I'm going to be looking at that later tonight. But very good. Thank
Nice.
you so much.
No problem.
All right. So tonight we've got two virtually all ages projects that we're going to be talking about. And the first one, we'll be talking with Gingerton about spells and superheroes. And then a little bit later, he's going to join us a little bit later in the show. Ryan Haack will be with us talking about Bric-A-Brac, a fantasy Christmas story. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Ginge up on the screen. And how are you doing, Ginge? Glad to have
Yo,
you.
what's up, guys? Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Glad to
Hey,
have you
Ginger.
here. So we are going to talk about your campaign that's in demand right now. Tell us a little bit about the timing before we bring up the campaign itself.
Right. So, actually, the letters just came in for Spells and Superheroes. That's my campaign. About 2 days ago, Keith's got it all squared away. It's looking fantastic. Where we will probably be up until December 20th, so another 5 days, and then I'm waiting on one more thing from Anthony, which I'm sure we'll go over as we go through the campaign. But yeah, it's looking good, guys. We got a couple more days. After that, the campaign's coming down. We'll get to fulfilling hopefully in the second half of January to February. That's been the goal.
I'm
So that's
stoked.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty good because that's a pretty quick fulfillment, and lately that's what a lot of us are trying to achieve because
Hmm.
there's been a rallying cry against the long waits that a lot of people have had to face. Now,
Hmm.
certainly if your delay is because of a printer issue or your books are sitting on a freighter off the coast of California, there's not a lot you can do about that. But one of the things that people talk about a lot is to have these things complete before the campaign launches, or at least a good portion of it. So I think that a lot of folks are leaning more toward that, and they can back with confidence in something like Spells and Superheroes because you're almost done. If they wanted to back right now, this would be a great time to do that. You wouldn't have to wait very long at all to get the books.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I really agree with that. I mean, I think everybody's kind of on the same page. It is smarter to get the campaign at least launched. Is penciled in ink. That's what I did. I wish I would have had it colored because that was really the biggest delay. Was I went through two colorists before Anthony Gambino came in and saved the day. So but yeah, just making
Nice.
sure the project's ready to go before putting it out there is probably like number one right now.
It is something that a lot of people are leaning toward. On the other hand, though, I do have to say that there is a certain amount of us who understand that we don't always have the funds to have all of that paid for before we launch our campaign. Because after all, this is crowdfunding, and I'm hashtag just a writer. I'm not like Catapano who can do everything on the book.
No, I try at least.
Well, from what I've seen, you do a great job of it. I wish I could do the art part, but as an artist slash writer, you have the opportunity to set your pace, and you know how fast you can be, how much detail you're going to put in your books, and how much time it'll take. So you probably had a great gauge as to when you were going to launch your campaign, as far as what would be reasonable.
Yeah, very. I mean, it's pretty much on a whim if you want it to be, but I'm pretty structured, so it works that way for me. I feel for all you all that are collaborative based. So it's definitely harder to plan, I'd say.
Yeah, when you're publishing a number of different things too at the same time, I liken it to herding cats, because artists, you guys are a flaky lot.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Temperamental, sensitive, whatever you want to call it. As a singer and a writer, I guess I'm an artist too. But yeah, it's hard to get everybody on the same page, so to speak. Speaking of pages, though, hey, Ginge, let's bring up your campaign, why don't we?
I like
I'm
it.
gonna-
Solid
I'm
segue,
gonna
my friend. Well done.
Share screen like this and go here, and yeah, let's see the
go.
pages of this. So you've got a trailer. Do you want me to go ahead and play that?
Please do.
All right, let's start with that then.
I've been watching in the shadows, waiting, biding my time to make sure you were worthy. And now it begins. Fox. Zoo-girl. Tricolors. Madam Magic. You fools think you can stop me? You never had a chance! Spells and superheroes.
That's classic.
There she is. Yep. Pedro Ang, the man right there. Yeah, that's
and
it.
whole
The music
style
just
of it.
plays on there.
Yeah, I'm trying
cool.
to find how do I make it? Let's just do this. All right, cool.
I really dig that trailer because it's got that classic, a little bit of cartoons in there too, like an advertisement for an old school cartoon, Johnny Quest or something.
Yeah, right. I love the campiness of the voices. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's most of that. Honestly, is Pedro. I hired the voice actor, and like as far as the direction I gave that guy was like, the laugh was the most specific thing. We used. I think it was Fiverr. His name is his working name is Dummy Man voiceover or something like that. But Fiverr, it was like $30 for that take right there. And the most direction that I gave him was I wanted the laugh to be like a mixture of Chucky and Mark Hamill's The Joker. Just a really good, like, just maniac laughing into the night. So, yeah, I'm really happy with it. And if we ever did anything else with these characters in terms of like visual or audio, like a cartoon or something, it's a hope for a hope, but definitely got to get a hold of my boy for the game master voice.
Yeah.
He did a great job. You're right. So I'm going back through here to share screen again to bring up your campaign. I know I killed it, but now we're going to scroll down and have a look at it piece by piece. So I'll let you walk me through it. I'll just sort of scroll as you direct, and we'll have a look at what you got.
Absolutely.
You guys are seeing the campaign.
We're
right
not
now,
seeing
right?
the screen.
No.
Oh, you're not.
No.
Oh, yeah, one more button. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
A little bit of boomerang. It's got to happen at least once every show.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay. Yep. So, we could start right up at the top there, just a little bit above that, and right here. Yep. So, spells and superheroes. It is the log line or the pitch line is a deranged dungeon master has captured 4 of Earth's bravest heroes, and he wants to play a game. It's essentially a mixture of spells. It's like superheroes, so X-Men plus D&D, plus a little sprinkle of Saw, just with the he wants to play a game element. He's insane, as you can see, the game master. So, and he wants to play. I mean, our heroes, they don't have a choice. They've been captured You'll see that in the book. Yeah, and then the game master forces them to play a game, and it's without ruining too much. It's the classic a game for their lives. So that's kind of the gist.
So
I
that's
like
sort
those
of where,
stakes.
yeah, that's kind of where the comparison to Saw comes in, right?
Yeah, it's they don't have a choice, and they've been kidnapped. And actually, if you scroll down a little bit, the first page kind of sets up the game masters just a little bit further down, actually. But I'll cover that really sweet print right there. That's Jacob's cover. That's the cover of the book right there.
Okay.
Yep. And here's page 1. Yep. So page 1 here. This is kind of this room right here is supposed to represent that dungeon room from the first Saw movie. So we got our game table here. We got our team members battened down here, and in comes the game master to tell them the rules of the game, and off we go.
All right.
I like
Oops, I might be getting ahead of us. Do you want me to go back up?
Yeah, you could scroll back up.
Okay.
Yeah. So Spells and Superheroes that's the concept as a story, but the concept of the project itself, it's a mini comic, but it's not miniature in size. It is miniature in page count, which sometimes strikes fear into people's heart. But it's not to say that it's not lacking in story or love or fun. It's just it was something. The initial concept was I had wrote 3 other stories alongside this one. Well, 2 others, 3 in total, but this was the one that out of those, we were originally looking at doing an anthology, but there's a ton of anthologies that are pretty much always out. So it was like, how can I get something out there that is something that I really love and enjoy, and something that is feasible for me to be able to produce, and basically make my mistakes and bump my head and sort of get the growing pains out of the way, but doing it in a way that made sense and was different than what I was seeing out there on the market at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a smart move, dude. I was gonna say the small page count. Well, I did it in a different way because my page count was kind of long for my first book. But for your book, this being the first one, that helps a lot of people on the fence. I'd say it's gonna be a lower price when we get to it. But yeah, I think that's a good choice.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I feel like it was a good choice too, just because I'm also a backer. You know what I mean? So I keep my ear pretty close to the ground. I feel like so. And I'm also not under any impression that my page count was going to garner me like a ton of money. It was more just an opportunity to get out there and show people that I can do it and deliver a good story. Yeah, I know you guys are going to love this thing. Seeing it done up with the letters, and Keith even added a little extra oohs and ahs, like sound effects and stuff like that. It's
Nice.
I love it, man. I love it. I can't wait to get it out there.
It's great to see your idea come to fruition. When you
Mhm.
get those books for the first time in your hands, when the box is delivered, it's like, it's surreal. It's like, damn, that's my name on that book. I made
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I sort of feel like I was thinking about that today, actually. I was like, man, this thing's about to go off next week, and then it'll be, hopefully back in a couple weeks, and then boom, I got a book in my hands. So
That's
very,
right.
very cool stuff.
It's gonna feel good.
And also too, which is a point you just touched on, the fact that you got this out there, and you'll be soon demonstrating that you can fulfill, that goes a long way towards your next campaign.
Mhm.
Always, that some people will hang on a minute and wait and see, does this guy fulfill? Is it a good product? And if so, on your second campaign, if you think to have a catch-up tier, now they're confident that you'll fulfill, and they'll get both if they didn't back you the first time around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping. Really, it's definitely all about confidence, and we are printing off some extra stuff, extra copies of everything, just to. Also, I mean, as it is, I'm going to have extra. So eventually, after all the backers get their stuff, I'll be moving everything to my website. But until then, obviously, I got to get everybody all their stuff. But
Right.
yeah, it's definitely sort of an investment in me. So I want to also appreciate everybody, not only me doing the project's an investment in myself, but all the backers, you know, I think there's 56 of you. Each and every one of you, just give you a little smooch. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you, bro.
So, did I hear this correctly? Is like the first chapter? Is what we're gonna say the first issue of this, or is this like a one shot?
It's a one shot. This is a one shot. Originally, it was designed with the fun shot concept. That's just my spin on the word one shot. So, like I said, I had wrote 2 other stories that actually didn't involve this team at all. It was just out of the stories that I wrote, I was like, damn, I really love this one. So, initially, very early on, a couple friends had asked me if it was something that I was looking at as an ongoing property. Or, property, like I'm over here, big wig over here now, just like an ongoing thing. But I said no, like before it was even public. I just in my mind, I was already like, meh, because it wasn't the concept originally. You know what I mean? The concept was the fun shot element of it. But as soon as I got it out there, like the very first stream, I mean, that was like one of the first questions that people asked. And it was a question that I got very early on was, are you planning on doing more with these characters? Not only the question, but people saying that they wanted to see more with the characters. So like after 2 weeks, I talked to Jacob, the interior artist, and I was like, bro, I think we have to do more with these characters. So yeah, he kind of agreed. And then it took another month or so after the book got funded thereabout. We talked about it again. And we would love to do a longer version of Spells and Superheroes, but right now, and I'm sure we'll get into it as we scroll down, we're actually going to do a spin-off series of Foxman. There, our sort of, here we go. Yep. This print right here, which is included along with all the physical tiers. Obviously, the reference to Frank Miller. This was drawn by Elliot Rodriguez, who's out there in the indie trenches, just doing fantastic work.
Yeah, he does.
This was done physically too. Like it's really.
I even love that you've got the Wolverine font up here. That's cool.
Yeah, that was all Elliot too. He asked me how would I want him to do it, and I gave him the decision on how. He's like, "Do you want me to do it all in Frank style? Do you want me to do it in mine? Do you want a mixture?" I was like, "Ultimately, it's up to you." And he said he chose to do it in Frank's style as a homage to Frank Miller. I think even in the corner there, he wrote at his signature. He writes after Frank.
After Frank, you're right. I can see that. Yep.
Yeah, and
that's a nice touch.
I've seen he showed me the actual physical piece because he drew it on I think like an 11x17 and inked it as well physically. And dude, I mean maybe it made me gasp because I really love the piece, but I mean it was just like the blacks on it were just like poof, like I gasped. I was like, yep, awesome. Yep, colored by my buddy Ichthus though.
Okay.
Oh, Ichthus did it.
That off. Yes, yeah. Those two have done a lot of stuff together, actually, and they were both friends, and I admired their work separately. And Ichthus has actually been a pretty big part of our campaign. He's hosted pretty much all of our different event parties, so it's a really solid guy, Ichthus. Big shout out.
Very nice. Yeah, I've seen him in the chat often. Not lately, but definitely I've seen him before in the chat. Yes, so what else do you want us to have a look at down here? Oh, this is what you were talking about before stream. Tell us about this.
Yes, so this is the battle map. This is it's a Z-fold map. It's kind of when it's folded up, it's in the shape of a brochure, like a Chinese restaurant menu. The map portion there you see is on the inside of it. That sort of beige piece is the outside, so it looks like an old kind of map. Like you open it up and you're like, you got your treasure. There's some slaughtered villagers there. Sorry, the villagers, but I had to crack a few omelets there. But yeah, this is it's supposed to represent a scene from the book. And there's also Anthony Gambino. This is the last piece that's kind of working right now. He's designing this. He's a graphic designer by trade. It's a quest page that is an additional entry into the book for a 16 total page count for the book. This quest page, I always shout out RJ from Critical Blast because it was his idea, but essentially I wrote a side quest, a kind of a mini quest to go along with the map, so you can lay out your miniatures, and it's the Curse of Agamemnon is the side quest. the Lich King has arisen and has sent his minions out. It's just a fun little itch I got to scratch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
That sounds brilliant.
That's a great addition. Yeah, I think that's cool because we're always we the indie creators are always looking for something that we can use as an add-on or a bonus that isn't just a tchotchke but is a direct tie to the story or book that we're creating. So this is, kudos to RJ for coming up with this idea and for you for running with it.
I mean, it was pretty brilliant on right there on the spot. I was like, he's like, hope you don't mind if I take that. And he's like, no, please, not at all. I think he said something about he provides ideas for lots of people, something like that. So,
Yep.
I guess he's just in the business of handing out good ideas.
He's a real good guy. He's a great support to the indie network. Yep.
I think Ryan is backstage as well. There we got in the private chat.
Okay. Yep. Let's.
He did pop in. Yeah.
Let me go there then. I'll stop sharing for a minute. And welcome Ryan to the show.
Hello.
Hey Ryan.
Sorry I'm late. I'm just as you know, the streaming, the whole it's like a press run that we're doing. For these.
It's the grind. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. When I did it for Siamese, I was on 80 different shows, dude. So I get it. Yeah. What was the show you were just on?
Pop XP with Billy Tucci and Niall.
Oh, that's a good one. I missed that.
Oh, sure. So they take priority over me, huh? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was like, oh, can we do 9 o'clock, please? But he was like, no, we can't. So I don't know.
No, it's quite all right. We've been talking about Ginge's project.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a little bit more to go. We're going to talk about his tiers, and then we'll have a look at Bric-A-Brac, okay?
For sure.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So I'm going to...
Sorry, I was going to say this is a fun little meeting because I've had you two on my show. And Ryan, I don't know if you've put the Gingerton name to the face, but I hit you up on Twitter earlier last week. I think we're actually supposed to be meeting Saturday for a special episode of the Ginge and Pedro show.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
So you guys will get to talk about that. That's cool.
Cross-pollination going on over here.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to share screen again, and I don't know if we'll need audio, but I'll do that anyway. And we'll go back to Spells and Superheroes. And it looks like we're at the bottom of the page. So what I'll do is let's see, are we? Yes.
Yeah, there should be a little bit more, but yeah.
Real quick,
that's a nice pin-up.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You mentioned it's a one-shot, but you also mentioned you might come back to it for a larger, would you say a reboot? Would you reboot this thing?
Yeah. Jacob and I, we've kind of already basically got the gist of what it would be. I mean, right now we could double the page count, you know what I mean? And I think make it a 35-page story, and that would be, just originally, like I said, it was never the intention. So it didn't really hit me until way late where I was like, I could have just increased the page count on this thing now. But I was like, all right, damn it. But all in all, it's like, yeah, it would be really fun. And like I said, Jacob and I, we've kind of already got, what we would do. So right now we're going to do Foxman #1. But if we did, or when we do another Spells and Superheroes, it'll still be a one-shot, kind of one-off deal. But yeah, it'll just be longer and more fleshed out and a lot more fun. There's a lot more you can do with the story, really. But it's a lot of fun.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I think you sent out an update today about the stretch goals, didn't you?
Sort of about the stretch goals. It was all about the general campaign. So if you want to pull up the...
yeah, we're still not seeing the page, Dojo.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, guys.
Show the prints and everything.
Oh.
That handsome book. Yep. So I need to update this page. I'm horrible, but so all three. Actually, let me share that. Actually, so those. We obviously didn't hit the full funding goal on that. However, Anthony Gambino, I'm telling you guys, he really is pretty much one of the greatest dudes I know as far as like professionalism. Just really solid, coming in clutch all the time. Anthony he drew our trading cards here. So this is the complete image of the trading cards. He drew and colored these. It'll be split into 3. So it'll be a mural piece that when you put all 3 cards together, it'll show this image. I can bring up the individual card pieces as well, but yeah. Anthony, he went ahead. Yeah, since we didn't unlock it, I only paid for the 2. He colored and drew the whole thing, and said, "Just here you go, bro. Don't worry about it." And so yeah,
Nice.
and with that, we're gonna just give it to the backers. So all 3 trading cards, the backers are gonna get all 3 cards, and then also, and again, another Anthony idea. We're gonna raffle off his original drawings since he drew them on actual trading cards and just scanned them in. So yeah, one lucky backer will actually get the original pieces, which I'll be honest, I'm actually a little jealous of.
Are you going to be doing that on stream somewhere where you do that raffle?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We'll probably do that on the 20th. Actually, that's
Oh,
would be
okay.
a ideal probably closeout little raffle
Sweet.
to do.
All right. Well, I'll be watching, so I know that it's coming.
All right.
My address is 4. Oh no, we'll wait and see. Okay. So, did you have anything else to share right now, or do you want me to go back and have a look at your tiers?
Yes, let's go over the prints because I did have a mishap with the prints. There was a sizing issue. I wanted to do the prints. I wanted to do the prints 8 by 10, but I had the artists commission. I commissioned them at like 11 by 17 size. So when I went to upload them to the printer program, unfortunately, it was cutting off some of the edges. So I've had to resize them to 6 by 9, I believe it is. So just slightly smaller, so it gets all of the image on the print without cutting any of it off. It just the cutoff might have worked on one of them, but on the other 2, it was just not going to happen at all. So that's a shame. But I mean, they still look great, and it's not that much bigger of a difference. It'll be this size right here. And Anthony Gambino. The prints are going to be this size as opposed to like a size larger, I guess.
Okay.
So still decently good size. Just I wanted a big boy, like huge print or a regular size print. You know what I mean? But yeah, now I know, and I do apologize. But yeah, so there's that. But
Okay.
thanks, guys. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So let's do this again. You know, don't tell him I said so, but you get a new appreciation for someone like Bancroft, who's with all these windows and having to bring people up on screen and stuff. All right, so let's go all the way up here and have a look at the tiers. So
Yes.
your featured tier, Don't Go Alone.
We need you to do one more time, one more click. I need a signal for that now.
Just a little button.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yep. So the Don't Go Alone tier, that's obviously the featured tier. Excuse me, man. $15 gets you $15 plus $5 shipping gets you the full campaign. That's all 3 prints. We can actually sort of show them. That first one that we're seeing right there, sort of halfway on the screen, that's the first print. I have 2 of those done by Sam Rat Doss and colored by Anthony Gambino. And then that Foxman is the 3rd print, obviously done by Elliot and Ickphy.
This one is the cover, right? So
Yes.
then this is one of the prints?
Yes, that's the 3rd print.
This one maybe?
Yes, yep. Those are that print
Okay.
and the one up top are both done by Sam Rat and Gambino on the colors. Yeah,
Cool.
those are
So
both
good.
included.
Yeah,
Sam Rat's
I
awesome,
love
man.
this one.
So good.
It shows the characters, though they're being forced to play this game, it looks like they're really getting into it. Yeah, roll a 20.
Yeah, that piece and the first print were like something I saw really early on in the campaign, especially this second one. I wanted to kind of have them looking serious, you know what I mean? And then them specifically having fun. And I was really looking for fun on the faces. And yeah, Sam Rat really nailed
He
they look like
did,
they're
yeah.
having a great time.
That's
So
a good
Dude,
one.
it's
Yep.
really as an artist, dude, that print with the game board, it's dude, to make 4 characters staring looking at a game board look interesting, that's an achievement. I really dig how well that came out.
yes, Sam is a hidden treasure. He's another guy I'm sure we'll use on future campaigns. He's done a I think a 10-page story for actually a guest we had on the show, Ben Krieger. His name is Frontier Tomorrow was the book. kind of post-apocalyptic anthology, and Samrat actually did. Sorry if you can hear my dog; he's being needy, but no, Samrat did something like 10 pages for that book. So, yeah, he's out there, putting his name out there. Great work.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are back at Don't Go Alone. Okay, so those are the prints.
Correct. Yep. So you'll get all three of those. You'll get a Game Master patch, which I actually have right here.
Nice.
Done by Frankie B. Washington. It's an iron-on fabric patch. Really sweet. I got these little baggies to individually wrap them with. But I went ahead and slid in the Patchwork Comics sticker that comes along with it. And I have in as well the magnet. We got a little magnet to go along with it as well.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, then let's see here. We've got the medieval deal. What's this one?
So that is just the book digitally, since honestly, when designing the campaign due to the page count, I knew I was kind of like looking at a strange proposition. So I was like, how do I make the most sense to the customer or the backer, And I was like, okay, so how do I do that while at the same time my end goal really is to have my project read and have people enjoy my writing? So I was like, dollar digital, I'm sort of feel like I'm putting my money where my mouth is. If the page count, it's kind of like if the page count seems like it's not something you want to gamble on, the dollar digital is there for people to try out. And I know you're going to love the book. So, if you want the dollar digital, try it out. Hit me up. Maybe if I've got some extra, I'd be happy to send you a physical copy if you want it. And,
I see. Yep.
Yeah, I think 11 people have backed it. And what's really cool about the digital is I'm not doing international shipping. Just on my first campaign, I want to keep it just as simple as possible, frankly. So, but what was really cool was doing it digitally. I was like checking my analytics or whatever in the Indiegogo, and I saw that I've had people from Europe and other places, mostly like Europe, like Lithuania, Bulgaria. So Spells of Superheroes is worldwide.
Great. That's cool to hear.
Yeah, so the dollar digital. Yep. The Adventurers pack, that's the following pack. It's essentially the $15 featured tier, just without the patch. So a little bit easier. Okay. Sometimes people don't, patches aren't necessarily their thing. So we do have that without the patch. And then that's all for the actual regular tiers. We do have 2 art tiers, which actually do kind of vary just due to the nature of the nature of it. So the Gambino tier, both of these, we've got a Anthony Gambino commission and we've got a Jacob Whittingham commission. Both, if you back both, you will get the full campaign. So you'll get the full physical, all the tiers. If you back Anthony, he will send you an 11x17 art commission on a physical board or a piece of paper, whatever you guys call it. Joe, you can help me out here.
Board, yeah.
Bristol board?
Yeah.
Right. And then the Jacob Whittingham commission, Jacob is Australian, and that presents kind of a particular issue, and it's like a shipping matter. So just like we're not shipping internationally, just because Jacob's in Australia. And also he does most of his work digitally anyways, like Spells and Superheroes is done entirely digitally. So it was good enough for me, I felt like. So the idea behind his commission was, and this was even sort of his additional kind of pitch here, Jacob will draw and color you an entire piece, like start to finish. So whereas Anthony's is the physical pencil and ink, Jacob's will be the fully colored, whatever you want, digital, delivery along with your physical tier. So as long as you're in the US, it's only available to US customers, but yeah.
Cool.
All right. So yeah, everybody, you got to go back this. I mean, it's his inaugural issue. It'll show that he can fulfill, and it's very affordable. No matter what tier you go for, it's definitely affordable, worth getting. And then of course you're in on the ground floor of Patchwork Comics.
Yeah. That's the idea, guys. I know you'll love it, and I really hope you give it a chance while we're still in demand for a few more days here.
Yep, got till Monday, folks. So get on this. Very cool. Yep. So let's see. I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna go back to StreamYard for a minute so we can say hey to Ryan. And so Ryan, yours is additionally an all ages project. Is that true?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, that's sort of how I touted this episode, if you will, is that both projects were going to be, for the most part, all ages. So this is number 3, Bric-A-Brac number 3, a fantasy Christmas special. So why don't you give us a little bit of a setup before we bring up the campaign?
For sure. Well, if you know of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, we got the Frosties, you have the Santa Claus is coming to town, these classic Christmas specials. This story is really, if you take that and the principles from those and the characters and really the tone of those stories and add it to the aesthetics of Star Wars, like if you and some ideas from Star Wars, really like the greater universe of Star Wars. So, for example, the story takes place on a planet Christmas, so it's actually completely a planet Christmas that has desert settlements, underwater settlements of Christmas natives. There's fantasy creatures, there's dragons, it's a fully embraced universe of Christmas beings. And I don't think I've ever really seen that before in like other things. But anyway, so there's that. And suddenly there's a war on this planet because of there's a war for resources. There's an outside source, an outside enemy that's kind of trying to take over the galaxy, and Planet Christmas just happens to be in his way. And so he's going to take it out, and he's going to really force the people of this planet to kind of destroy themselves. He gives this warlord gives them weapons and technologies that the people of Planet Christmas, they're really like, some of them don't even know how to read. They're really they're kind of stuck in like the medieval times, like what we would know as medieval times. They only have swords, and they, some of them are kind of illiterate, like, not a lot of them don't speak the same language. They don't have technology. They're unaware of the outside world, what I should say. And so when this warlord comes, they think he's a friend, and suddenly they fall for all his tricks, and there's a big war. And so we follow a character named Garrett, who is going through this planet trying to find Father Christmas, who he believes can save this whole thing. But unfortunately, Father Christmas has lost a lot of his power because the Christmas spirit is being depleted, because there's all these people kind of that are in this war that are fighting, and they have no energy to celebrate Christmas or give presents or whatnot. And really only the children of this universe know where Father Christmas is. So Garrett is going to find him. And so that's really the main plot, but he runs into so many different characters, a lot of different archetypes of characters. We have Good King Wenceslas, we have Father Christmas, we have Jack Frost, we have the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. So many different characters, some familiar, some completely new. And I hope I take everyone who reads the book for a ride, an adventure of nostalgia, but something also very new. This is something like I always want, if I could ever tell one Christmas story, if you could ever watch one Christmas special, I would want this to be the one. It has everything. So that's really what it is.
Great. So let's pull it up then and have a look. You've definitely got me intrigued. So
okay.
Share screen. Make sure we hit audio. Is there a trailer to play as well?
There's a 30-second trailer. Yes.
Okay.
Let's
have a look at that then.
It's all right. I had a cold when I made it, so to me, it's.
I'll give you the signal.
What's that? You're giving me a signal?
Red light.
Yeah, I got to give you the signal.
This one?
Yeah, that's the signal.
That's signal.
When we last visited Planet Christmas, the Nutcrackers were at the height of their powers, but the tables are turning. A secret enemy has been manipulating the battle from behind the scenes, and now his plan for intergalactic domination is about to be put into effect. Our hero Garrett will encounter new friends and unlikely allies who might help him defeat the planet-conquering warlord, but there's no telling if they'll make it out alive. This 25-page third issue is fully illustrated by Raphael Sam, lettered by the talented Eric Hodson, and written by myself, Ryan Haack. Back this book and enter the fantastical yet dangerous world of Bric-A-Brac.
All right, cool. Short and sweet, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So, as a newcomer, this is the first time I've seen Bric-A-Brac. So, first thing to come to mind is like, why the name Bric-A-Brac?
Yeah, so there's a song in The Nightmare Before Christmas where Jack Frost, or no, Jack Skellington, sorry, he says the word bric-a-brac, and he's talking about like Christmas, and really the word itself means like, and that's where it started. I was like, oh, this is a great word. It would be such a cool like thing. I don't know, and then I started looking at the meaning of the word. It basically means like, basically just random things added together, and that's kind of what this story is. Like, we're adding everything you know about Christmas that isn't really related. Jack Frost, we add stuff from the Christmas Carol. We've got, you know, the Rankin Bass stuff, and we're also taking stuff from modern day, you know, Christmas carols, ancient Christmas carols, Good King Wenceslas being one of them. Obviously, this random character who's not in any of the Rankin Bass specials, but yet, you know, he has a cool song, and he's kind of one of the, you know, I mean, there's not anything about him. He seems kind of like a new character. Like, you can kind of add things to him, change him a little bit. So taking all of these different aspects of Christmas that we know and adding them into this weird new thing. So that if you will, that's kind of the idea of the title. So
if you'll permit me, there is a song in Rudolph's Shiny New Year that as they go from island to island searching, there's a song in there on it's regarding the 4th of July parade, because he's going from holiday to holiday. And it's like, that is such a huge missed opportunity in July that nobody goes and plays that song.
You're totally right. You're absolutely right.
It's like, why don't we ever hear that in July? That's an awesome song for the 4th of July.
Yeah, no, that honestly, that one is my favorite Rankin Bass. Like, I know it's kind of goofy, like the way it ends and stuff, but that is so off the wall, crazy. Like, there's some nuts stuff going on in Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
Yeah, one of my favorites is OM.
Oh yeah. He's yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The 1 million. 1 million years ago, I guess he was the baby New Year or something like that.
Right. Yeah, it's something. But and then they also put all the fairy tales. There's fairy tales in that. That's a really fun book. That's a really fun Christmas special. One of their best, I feel like, definitely, and great music too. But I think Santa Claus is Coming to Town is obviously, like, how could it not be the best?
Well,
one? Frosty or
those songs are so darn.
Yeah,
catchy.
They need to put them on Spotify. Like, why are they not on Spotify? Like, that's the shame, you know? Like, gosh, like, they have all the Rudolph stuff, but nothing else. No, oh my gosh, we need to advocate. We need to make like a petition. But anyway.
All right. Yeah,
I was going to ask, what type of person makes a Christmas like collaboration kind of book, and you're like, between you talking to Dojo, I'm understanding what type of person you are.
Yeah,
you definitely have some history with I mean, I know Christmas stuff, but not as much as you guys. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, I grew up on those Rankin Bass cartoons that he's talking about all came out in the early 60s. So toward the late 60s when I was born, it was perfect for me to, as a kid, just grow up with those, you know?
And then the ones from the 70s and 80s, and they also made like the unicorn one, like the same company that made the Hobbit, the animated Hobbit. Like, they actually made a lot of really interesting things. They made Thundercats, which not a lot of people know, but they actually did work on Thundercats, and there's a couple other 80s shows too. So it's just really like in animation, they were huge, you know. So it's kind of their influence is really big. So
here we have some examples of the art, which obviously is amazing.
Right. Raphael Sam is our interior artist, and he totally captures this world, this playful but yet dangerous world. He's really good at getting those like emotions from characters, you know. And it's kind of like a Pixar element where it's like it's cutesy looking, but yet you can really convey serious emotions with the art style, and it's just enjoy. Obviously, with this page, just absolutely like he's having a blast. But there's many moments where he's in peril, or it's just he's a great artist, is what I have to say. And he also knows when to use color and wear vibrant colors and darker colors. When the time is more serious, or it's just and somehow he nails it to make it look like Christmas, even when it's in a cave or outside, or when it's not even snowing, when it's in a desert. Somehow it still looks like a Christmas story somehow. I don't know.
The color palette is really strong. I really like it.
These are some of our covers by Tom Barton. He works on League of Legends. He works with League of Legends on cards or on promo images, or he's even worked on a comic book for them. He's an awesome artist.
Nice.
If you want to follow him, he's on Tomo_Tron on both Instagram and Twitter. So let me just say that. It's an awesome follow. He has incredible monster concepts and all kinds of stuff.
Did he do the other two Bric-A-Brac
covers? The Raphael Sam did the interiors, and Tom also did the covers. Yep, same team.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, here's one of the dragons. Nice.
Yeah.
He's got a scarf. Yeah, the question would he wear the scarf here or here?
Yeah, it's like I bet his neck's really warm since he throws all that fire.
Oh, that's
so
true.
Maybe he doesn't need the scarf there. It's like what
just for looks.
says, cover your stomach instead of your arms.
Yeah, dude.
This is just me as a kid, Gotta throw that in there.
The human element.
Yeah, just to get them like emotionally invested,
There you go.
And then Raphael and Eric, if you guys know the Indie Vault, I think actually it was the guy from Pops who recommended you for me to go on your show, Eric, and so I knew him through Eric, and so Eric is an amazing letterer. He's our letterer for this book, and he definitely understands. Like one thing about Eric too, every letterer I've ever worked with has always done like misspell. There's always been massive misspellings, but I've never had a misspelling with Eric. He always understands what I'm trying to convey with the word. He gets he's just an incredible letterer. So he always works really well with the books, and I enjoy working with him all the time. And also really in the comic book scene, so always sharing, and he's the best. The best. And these are this is my family. You could get these shirts on this campaign. We're just kind of showing them off, And
Wow.
And some fan art here. This is some fan art. This is by Carlo. If you guys ever heard of a book called Otis Stein, it's a black and white book. He did the art for it. He was on Indiegogo this year. He's incredible. He's one of the most talented people I've ever met. So Carlos Rodriguez, for anyone who wants to follow him.
Nice.
So some more fan
who
art.
did this one?
I believe that's Illustrator Monk, or I'm not exactly sure. It's hard because he didn't engrave his name in it. I can't really see where his name. Or maybe
is this the name here?
Maybe it is, but I think it's either. I'll figure that out.
Okay,
it's hard because.
Oh, and then here,
I believe it's
nice. You were talking about the Star Wars element. This is an homage to the poster.
Exactly, the original. It's not Drew Struzan that drew that one, but it was someone else. The original one. Drew Struzan did it later.
It's a buff ass Santa.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's have a look then at the tiers, so that we have time to make sure people have a chance to back this. So there's 17 days left, I see. It's currently funding. Is this 17 of the first 30 or the second 30, Ryan? First 30, okay. All right. Good, so there's plenty of time to get on this. All right, so let's see. The featured tier is the Bric-A-Brac physical bundle at $30. What do we get with this one?
All 3 books, digital and physical, and then also the Good King Wenceslas print. So we got like the Frank Frazetta inspired cover with the guy with the knights on in the lower sphere, and then he's at the top with his sword.
Yep. So we're talking about this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Very
cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So with every physical book, you will get that print. Just to clarify. So.
All right. And then I see this one's called the digital, $8 digital. That's pretty good. That helps the folks overseas or people who just prefer to have it on their iPad or their Kindle or whatever.
For sure.
And then, so this is the book itself at the physical tier.
Yes, it is. Just the vanilla book itself. Yes.
How many pages is the book
25,
itself?
25 pages.
25? Okay.
Nice.
All right. So another, it's not your typical, IGG 48 page or 80 page, but it's also at a very affordable price point. So, it's reasonable and easy to back. And, and hey, if you want two of them, it's even more reasonable
Yes.
at
Yeah.
just $18.
Right.
Buy one, get one half off.
Exactly.
Stuff it in somebody's stocking for
That's right. Very
Christmas
good.
season.
And then digital bundle. Okay, so this then mirrors your feature tier, but it's digital. Is that what I'm getting? Okay, perfect. Oh, and then here's the shirts.
Yeah, someone's gotta back them. Hopefully one day. I really want one, especially the short sleeves, because the long sleeves are great, but short sleeves, man, during the summer, how cool is it to wear a Christmas shirt?
I was going to say Christmas in July.
It's like rebellious.
We're back to July again.
Right.
Oh, what's this here?
So that is a donate Bric-A-Brac. So basically last year we had the same kind of tier where you can donate. I will give 6 books to any. So 2 of number 1, 2 of number 2, and 2 of number 3 to any Boys and Girls Club of your choice. If we can't work it out with that Boys and Girls Club, last year we couldn't due to COVID, and they had some restrictions of what things they would take and whatnot. We can do a church. We can do anything, a library in your town. So, it's the sky's kind of the limit.
Oh, nice.
Good idea.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Right on, brother.
Yeah.
It's a good touch, especially with a Christmas related thing. That's
right.
Nice.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And then,
create a Christmas character. Tell me about that one. What does that entail?
Yeah, so let me give you some examples. So this is last year's book, Bric-A-Brac number 2. And here's an example.
Very nice.
Let me scroll you out just a second. Oh, wait. One more thing. There we go.
Okay, so this right here is a page of several. There's about 4 created characters here. So we've got, this guy is a tin soldier. This guy, someone had a character named the Tin Soldier, and that's him. And we have
someone's Relentless Tin Soldier, Nicholas Gear?
I believe so. It was him. Yeah, it was him. It absolutely was him. And then this is another backer. He wanted his likeness in it, so we got that. And then we've got some of my friend Justin, Junkyard Dunn, if you guys know who he is. He always backs the book, and these are his kids. So we have him here, his kids here, and there's some other, in this book, there's another example of some other people. If you know Sugar Chris, right there, and then also this is Nerd Wonder. If you guys know her, she's super enthusiastic about the book and just a fan. So we had her in there too, and so it's just really cool. Especially with this book, though, there's a big war. There's, like I said, there's like a 12-page battle. So it's going to be really cool if we have more characters, guys. If you can back the book at that tier, I can guarantee your character is going to be doing some cool, beating some nutcrackers up, or doing something,
cracking some nuts. No, it definitely will be cool. There's definitely some cool opportunities for your character to do cool things in the background. So that's a cool perk. It definitely livens up the story, because you want to have a lot of characters that are lively and Christmas themes. A lot of times people will put their own characters in it that they've had created for for a long time, and that's awesome too, because it's like a little piece of them is in it, and it's like what comics are all about. It's what stories are all about, having people kind of participate and make it something fun. So
that's what makes this community so much fun to be a part of, where we can all collaborate and do things together.
I have tons of questions still, but I know we don't have tons of time, but I have a show, Art Bros, that maybe I'll have you on, and I can answer or ask these questions.
Ask. Just message me on Twitter, or definitely. I'm on it. I'm on every show I can get on. I'm there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll message you. Haack Pro.
Yeah.
Yep. Haack_pro. That's
right.
His Twitter ID. Yep.
All
right. Well, speaking of you and your show, Joe, let's take a brief look at Star Circuit, because I noticed as I was going to have you on that. I still have to do this. I got to add to stream and then go to Star Circuit. So it's in demand still, folks. There's still an opportunity to get this. I'm not going to solo myself out, but he fulfills. See, here it is. Got it today. So this book is It's very colorful, cyber. Oh, and the thing about the colors is, Joe, explain. You skip an important step, but I think it works for you.
Oh yeah, I for my books, well, just my art in general, I skip inking because I'm just a really big fan of penciling. So I go straight from pencil to color, and you kind of you're left with like a really vibrant but sketchy kind of look to it. If you really pay attention, the color kind of overrides a lot of the line work, but in key places you can kind of see it, and it's got a distinct flavor. Um, but yeah, I'm coming upon a decision that I'll have to close InDemand at some point. Not because I plan to reprint the book and have it, able to purchase, but my stretch goals and side things are running out of stock. So I'm like, do I get another reprinting of those, or do I pull it off demand, or just pull off certain perks? So I'm going to make some decisions coming up soon. But a lot of the perks will be pulled down eventually, sooner than later. And then the book obviously will be available, at least on my website. But for now, check out it's like one of the only cyberpunk books really pulling from Akira and Tron and tons of other things. But it's a story about a street racer that is crazy enough to go against the best racers in the colonies in the new future. And they are androids. So it's a classic man versus machine story. It's the first chapter, one of 8. So you're getting in on the ground floor here. It's pretty cheap at $16. So and we have a variant cover by 2 of my favorite people, Kanan White and Steve Furkow, who colored a lot of my favorite books back in the day.
This is it right here, right?
Yeah. And Steve actually was the first DVD I saw about coloring comics. So it's like a full, coming around circle that he's colored my first book. Or colored the
Very
cover.
nice, bro.
So really cool.
And here you get the opportunity to get both covers right here. So $32, like you said, it's very affordable at $16 a piece if you want to get the Canon cover or the regular cover. It's right here.
Mm-hmm.
And
My
this
cover,
cover is
yeah.
by you, right, Joe?
Yeah, I do everything in the book. I wrote and drew it, and I did that cover. I'll be doing the entire. I can't give up my baby, so I'll be drawing the rest of the whole arc. So I figure it'll be around 300 pages worth. This is 30 something. 30. It's a 40-page book, but it's like around 31, 32 pages of story, depending on what you call off story. But so yeah. Jump in now because it's a fun story to get in. It's really character based. So if you don't fall in love with motorcycles like me, you will fall in love with how just the characters interact.
Or
I
even
want a
just
motorcycle. Sorry.
Yeah,
Good
me
job.
too.
I want one that looks just like this. I mean, come on, this is awesome. Look at this thing.
Yeah, and the 3D prints are still available too. They're on-demand printing. So my good friend Dead Sud Prime printing these, and they're giant. I'm actually kind of losing money on these things. So I feel like if you really want one, it's the best time because they'll be much more expensive down the road.
Okay.
So keep that in mind if you really want one of these.
So yeah, if you've got that FOMO, that fear of missing out, now's the time to back Star Circuit. Because like he said, he's got some decisions to make, some things may be coming down. And get on this while you still have the opportunity to get everything that was available.
Everyone's big announcement. Everyone's book is being mailed out tomorrow. Fulfillment will be complete tomorrow. So
fantastic.
that means I took the day off from Art Bros, my stream, to get it going. So I just got to slap some labels on them and we're good.
So yeah, listen. So first off, then, Joe, I want to say thank you so much for, despite the fact that you're in full fulfillment mode tonight, to take the time to come on and be my guest co-host. I think that's very, very cool of you. So I appreciate that.
No worries.
Also want to thank our guests, Ryan and Ginge, for coming on to talk about your all ages projects. We've got Bric-A-Brac, a fantasy Christmas story. That's Bric-A-Brac number 3, sorry. And we've got Spells and Superheroes, which is, the ground floor of Patchwork Comics. So, lots of great things to back here. And heck, they're all three of these are so affordable. You should back all three tonight. I mean, why not? You get in there.
It's Christmas, baby.
That's right. And so if you want the opportunity to get any of these, all of the links that we talked about, their campaigns, all three of their campaigns, the 2 pre-launches of my campaigns are in the description below, plus their contact Twitter handles. So all of that, I'm not going to ask you guys to read them all off because it's definitely down in the description below. And I want to thank anybody who was here to watch the show live and anybody who comes back and has a look at it in the replay. So thanks again, guys, for being here on the Dojo Kun Shill Shack. Everybody take care.